The founder's operating system. Today I'm super excited to share with you guys kind of this philosophy I have on how great founders operate. You know, I remember a few months ago I was talking with the founder and they were having some struggles and challenges raising their round of funding. You know, so we met at my house and we were talking through the strategy, and you know, it got really clear to me quickly that the challenge was actually not the mechanics or the process, because I had showed them that. I showed them how the pre-marketing phase works and the fundraising and the close. All those things were being executed on, but the challenge was their approach to it, or their mindset. The conversations, the language they were using was not confident. I don't know if you've ever talked to a friend that is just down, even though they're saying the right things, you just don't feel it. That's what I was hearing. And it reminded me about this analogy I like to use where, you know, a lot of people try to understand the applications in life. They want to understand lean startup, agile development, fundraising processes, Facebook marketing. Those are all applications, but those applications actually run on the operating system of the mind, right? I'm obviously a computer geek, so that analogy made a lot of sense. You've got all these different things you could learn how to do, the skills, the tactics, but those at some point have to run on the operating system, and if that's not great, they don't run. Those strategies or those tactics don't work. You know, I don't know how many people learn about Facebook marketing, but are they still doing it? Do they even get going? Do they start to see some results and not pursue it? That's because the operating system isn't working. So what I want to teach you guys today is 3 ways that I think about improving your mindset, or what I call the founder's operating system. The number one is the people. You know, when you think about life, you're going to be so influenced by the amount of people you spend the most time with. You know, there's a quote that says you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It couldn't be more true, because essentially every idea you have comes from conversations. Every moment where you feel pushed or challenged comes from somebody else. Either you saw do really well, or they asked you questions that made you kind of reassess where you were going. And those conversations, those people matter so much. So to be around them, you can organize founders dinners, and I did a video on this. You can go to events. You can build your personal advisory board, or what I call the Dream 100, you know, and really just be conscious that to build that founder operating system, you need to have the right people in your life to push you towards that direction. The second thing that I do, that I've been doing now for 15 years, is I read books. Now, a lot of people say, well, I read a lot. I read blogs, I read magazines, I subscribe to Fast Company, all these things. Look, those things, when it comes to ideas and knowledge, I consider those fast food. Those are not deep, healthy, elaborate perspectives on a strategy or an idea. I recommend books, and I do 2 types of books. I do books on things like leadership, branding, marketing, positioning, and then other ones on just biographies, because it kind of gives me that first one, the people part, where I'm reading about somebody else's journey and I can resonate with that, and it motivates me or excites me, or it kind of just opens up the breadth of thinking that I can have around a problem. Or it's just cool to understand how history has evolved and how entrepreneurship has evolved as a profession. Anyways, so books is a huge part of that. Not magazines or blogs, real books. Every day at minimum, I spend at least 30 minutes while I'm eating breakfast. But more than that, usually 1 to 2 hours a day, because to me, it's like compound interest. The more I learn today, the bigger the return is going to be over time. And then the third one is modeling. You know, a lot of people talk about this idea of best practices, but for me, modeling is identifying 3 or 4, maybe up to 5 people that you feel, for what you're trying to accomplish, they've really exhibited or accomplished that in a way that you admire, right? And that word admire is really important. If it's business, if it's family, whatever it is, you find those people and you try to model them. Now, you may not have access to them. You may not have their cell numbers. Maybe you can't talk to them, but you can at least pay attention to how they communicate, how they work. Maybe there's been books written on them, maybe articles. Read those articles and really try to model the behaviors that you think, those best practices, those success behaviors, to really get you the most. And I do this for every major initiative in my company. No matter what I'm trying to do, I try to find the world's best people. I always do world class. That word world class is very important to me. It shapes my operating system of thinking. And find those people that are doing things at that level, and even if I don't understand it, just copy it, just borrow, be inspired, because by doing it and having faith in the process, even if you don't completely understand it at first, you'll at least get going, you'll get that feedback, and you'll start that process of modeling. So those are the 3 areas to make sure that you really have the right people, you read a lot of books, and you model success behaviors. That is how you start to reshape the operating system so that those applications can execute and work flawlessly. So I hope you found this video useful. I invite you to like and leave a comment below. Let me know if you have some other ideas for how you can improve your founder operating system. I also want to challenge you guys to live a bigger life and a bigger business, and I'll see you guys next Monday.